If you want to lead, you need to have a plan. What's your vision for the future? In this module, you're going to learn how to effectively create a compelling vision that will engage your team and define your strategy for what's to come. Because leadership is about more than just influencing others. It's about reminding people of what the team is trying to build and ultimately why it matters. Therefore, a core part of a leader's role is to invest the time in today for tomorrow. It's about doing the work now for the future. To effectively manage well, a vision is required. I think it's one of the most important skills you can ever have. Because you need to be able to plan where you're going, both as a leader and as a team. You can't be stuck in just doing the same old thing day after day after day and not planning about the future. Not planning about where to go, and what to do, how to get there, when, why, and where you're ultimately wanting to be. Because leaders need to know where they're going in order to get there, to actually have results. And they need to be able to articulate that vision about where we're going as a team, as a group, as a business, as individuals, because that is important. As part of inspiring what I would call a shared vision, leaders need to get themselves and others focused on the possibilities, the future, what's possible, where you can go together, and how you can all win and succeed. So each leader has to show their people how they can directly benefit from what's being tackled. Show everyone how they can contribute to the strategies, the goals, the successes that are yet to come. But what a lot of leaders don't realize is that depending on where they are at, there are different types of vision levels that people have. So I'm going to bucket everybody into 3 different types of leaders. Because there are varying degrees of vision that someone needs to have depending on where they are and the type of role and how high up maybe I'll use the word hierarchy somebody might be. Because depending on the experience level and the responsibility of a leader, their view and their vision is going to differ. Because we all go through different leadership levels within organizations and businesses. And there's a certain, expectations or almost requirements that are needed at each stage. So at first I'll say there's frontline leaders. These are probably more team leads, supervisors. They only really plan for events, I'd say maximum 3 months down the road. And I would say many of these people who are in this spot, actually, it's quite less than that. They might even be going week to week, day to day, more than anything else. They focus on a time horizon that's really short because it's hard for them to plan ahead because they're so, I'd say stuck in the weeds, a little bit more reactive. It's problematic for these leaders to see beyond what's in front of them because they go task to task, or what I like to call fire to fire, and I'll be talking about firefighting in a future module. But it is really hard for them to get out of that day-to-day. Their leaders need to be as transparent as possible to help them, provide them with the roadmap so they can plan ahead to see where are we going in the months to come. More important than that, though, show them the why. Show them the why of why this initiative matters and how they play a contributing role to it. So outside of that, there's mid-level managers. These are people who are kind of there to anticipate maybe events maybe 1 to 3 years away. Now, I do find that a lot of people who are mid-level managers, they still struggle with seeing beyond the next couple of months because they are stuck in that firefighting mode. They can't escape the day-to-day. Leaders who are the most, I'm going to use the word proficient and competent more than anything else, they'll develop roadmaps and strategies that help them see years in advance. I think that the mark of a great manager is anticipating changes before they happen. These mid-level managers, they have to recognize that they play a crucial part between the front line and the senior leaders or executives. If they don't understand the vision, those who are mid-level, the greatest plans that can be devised will not succeed. You will not accomplish what you want. Now, I mentioned the word senior leaders before, again, because this is the third type of leaders and vision. Senior leaders could be, VPs. They might be some senior directors. They're definitely C-level. So your chief executive officer, your COO, those kind of roles, right? They have to plan years in advance. They have to be strategic, not tactical. A big challenge that these leaders face, though, is connecting the dots with their vision and cascading it throughout the organization. I said in the last module, communication, I believe, is one of the biggest challenges that are facing businesses, that they are struggling to gain alignment because a lot of people have trouble communicating. Those who are successful as senior leaders, they can articulate the why behind a strategy. They can get others to buy in, and they can ultimately help them see how they contribute. Everybody who works underneath a senior leader needs to be inspired by that leader for about the future. The only way that happens, though, is if there's trust. If there isn't any trust, no one's going to follow these leaders willingly. So when it comes to setting the vision, you have to know where you're taking your team in order to be successful. If you're not able to formulate, you're certainly not going to be able to articulate your vision, your direction, and your team's going to flounder. So you have to get really good at setting that direction for your vision. Where are you trying to take the team? What's that destination? Ultimately, what's the progress that's going to be achieved by getting to that final destination? Now, progress might mean maybe taking a clear step ahead and becoming more efficient. It could be maybe offering more support to new customers, new markets. It could be gaining recognition as a leader in maybe a new technology or product area. I think what is really important about setting direction is ultimately trying to make sure that you're making the impossible seem possible, or things that are kind of considered merely tricky, maybe, not as hard. Making the difficult seem like it's just another day's work, making it easier for folks. So as a leader, let your team know where you stand. What's your vision? What are you going to do to help them make it happen? Be committed to success. Be positive. Help them grow and continue to get better and better every single day. Openly share your vision with the team to align everybody. I think far too often many business leaders are not as transparent as they could or should be. Therefore, then leaders have this issue where some of their team members and employees might not trust them. They're skeptical. I believe in open transparency. To put into a poker term for myself, I always play with my cards face out when it comes to being a leader. Reveal your hand. Reveal where you're going, what you're trying to accomplish. In a later module, we're going to explore the importance of really developing that roadmap to really be transparent, to help everybody theme what they're trying to go after, to illustrate this point of being fully transparent as a leader. We'll see you in the next module.